Lloyd?
You're now streaming.
Lloyd?
Go ahead, Phil.
Okay, we're good to go?
You're now streaming.
Okay, we'll call this meeting to order. Before this public meeting begins, I would like to advise the public of the following. This is a meeting to host public meetings on matters requiring approval under the Planning Act. During the meeting, there will be an opportunity for questions and answers from committee and the public. Before we begin, members of the public are advised that if a person or public body does not make oral submission at the public meeting or make written submission to the Corporation of the Municipality of Central Elgin before the decision, the person or public body is not entitled to appeal the decision of the Council of the Corporation of the Municipality of Central Elgin to the Local Planning Appeal Tribunal. Further, if a person or public body does not make oral submission at the public meeting or make written submission to the Corporation of the Municipality of Central Elgin before the decision, the person or public body may not be added as a party to the hearing of an appeal before the Local Planning Appeal Tribunal unless, in the opinion of the tribunal, there are reasonable grounds to do so. Those wanting to be notified of Council's decision on any application should email Diane Wilson at dwilson@centralelgin.org, indicating which meeting they wish to be notified on and providing their name and address. Those who do not have access to a computer and wish to be notified should call Diane Wilson at 519-631-4860 extension 286 and provide the same information. So we'll call this meeting to order. So this is a public hearing as required by the Planning Act to hear the applicant Tim and Carolyn Dengate and every other person who desires to be heard in favor of or against the application for a minor variance from the zoning bylaw respecting 476 Dover Place. Does any member of the committee have a disclosure of interest concerning this application? Seeing none. If the applicant or agent is listening on your computer, tablet, or smartphone, please click the raise hand icon. And if you have called into the meeting using a telephone, please dial *9. We will acknowledge your raised hand and you will be unmuted to explain the application. When given the opportunity to speak, please identify yourself for the record. So is Mr. and Mrs. Dengate or their agent available to speak to the application?
Certain Lloyd's hearing us now.
Mr. Perrin?
It's Carolyn Dengate. I'm not sure if Craig Hardy is on.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
It's Carolyn and Tim Dengate.
Okay, are you speaking to your application or did you have somebody, an agent to speak on your behalf?
My understanding Craig Hardy was, is he on Zoom? I can't tell.
Madam Chair,
Sorry.
Madam Chair.
Go ahead, Mr. Perrin.
Okay, Craig Hardy is on, so if you like, I can allow him to talk.
That would be great. Thank you.
Okay, that's great.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Mr. Hardy.
Hello, it's Craig from Covenant Construction.
Hello, Mr. Hardy. Could you please explain the reason for the application?
Certainly. So 476 Dover Place, we have submitted application for variance. The current home on the property needs to be removed due to its poor condition. And so in going through the different meetings that we had, we found that we needed a variance as it came to our attention that Dover Place is not a recognized road. Therefore, we technically have no frontage. So our application was for the roadway to be recognized, and that we would then have a front yard setback, and then we also needed relief for the front yard setback.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hardy. Was everybody able to hear that? Okay, all right, thank you. What method of notice and when was notice given to the public of the hearing?
Madam Chair, as per requirements of the Planning Act, notice was mailed by regular post to every owner of land within 60 meters of the subject property on Friday, November the 6th. Notice was physically posted to the property by municipal staff on that day, as well as the municipal website.
Thank you. Mr. McClure, do you have any comments on the application?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Nothing further than from what was in the report.
Thank you. Are there any comments from municipal staff on this application? Hearing none. Secretary Treasurer, have you received any written submissions on the application?
Madam Chair, email correspondence has been received from Shelley Cooley, 469 Dover Place, stating her property owns the right-of-way and she has concerns with the use of any heavy equipment and who is responsible to ensure repairs are made after the construction is complete. A second piece of email correspondence has been received from Derek Barlow, 477 Valley Street, stating his property is directly downhill from 476 Dover Place. He has concerns with water drainage from the property at 476 Dover Place. He has also inquired about the new building and the shed location. Both of those pieces of correspondence were forwarded to Mr. Perrin, and Mr. Perrin has spoken to both parties to discuss their concerns.
Okay, thank you. Do any members of the committee have any questions on this application? Go ahead, Mayor Martin, sorry.
Yes, the one question I was surprised, is there access then for a vehicle to get in Dover Place and park at this location? Is there parking for the building?
Yes,
Mr.
Mayor.
Hardy?
Yes, my understanding is that there was a legal letter, I guess, submitted with the application to address access to and from the site as well. And through that legal interpretation or legal opinion letter, it was determined that they do have access to the property.
Thank you, Mr. McClure. Any follow-up, Mayor Martin, or?
I would just like to hear if Mr. Perrin spoke to the two people who had concerns, maybe he could let us know if those were resolved. Maybe the people are on and want to speak themselves, but if not, Mr. Perrin, if he could tell us how they were resolved or answered.
Okay, Madam Chair, through you to Mayor Martin, with respect to the access, it is a private right-of-way. It's a private road with access deeded across the individual properties. The municipality does not own or maintain Dover Place. We did advise the neighbor that did have a concern about the condition of Dover Place as a result of construction, and we advised them that really that was outside of the municipality's authority and that they would have to resolve that with the applicant.
Thank you, Mr. Perrin.
Madam Chair, I also have Mr. Hardy, who's the agent for the applicant, and he would like to address the committee again.
Yes, go ahead, Mr. Hardy.
Can you confirm, was it 469 Dover that had concerns?
I'm sorry, Mr. Hardy, can you repeat?
Lloyd, could you confirm it was the people at 469 Dover Place that had concerns?
I spoke with a Mr. Topping, who's also on the line, and I believe that's the address.
okay, because part of our submission package was, well, I guess twofold. Part of our submission package was included letters signed by the local neighborhoods. The 469 was one of the ones that had signed in favor, but it's a Sandy Jones. But neither here nor there. Obviously, prior to beginning the both removals and rebuild, we would, I think, in all fairness to everyone, photograph the condition of Dover Place in its current state. And then obviously at the end of the project, we would bring it to that state and or better. It's physically impossible to do the project without bringing equipment in.
Thank you, Mr. Hardy.
Madam Chair, Mr. Topping would like to address the committee, please.
And I'm sorry, his name, can I get him to please repeat his name?
Mr. Topping, you're muted. There you go.
Mr. Topping? Hello, Mr. Topping?
He's in the meeting, but and he's unmuted. We just can't hear him.
Mr. Topping, did you have something that you wanted to ask? Oh, you've just muted yourself, Mr. Topping. We need you to unmute.
Expect his mic isn't working.
There.
There, you're unmuted now, but we're still unable to hear you. No idea why.
All right, try it one more. Can you hear me?
There you go.
Yep, we can hear
Okay,
you
good.
now.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Sorry for that.
That's
All
no
right, first
problem.
off, Sandy Jonas, who may have signed that letter, is a tenant at 469. She has no ownership there. So I don't know of that letter, but that's near nor there. Mr. Hardy was pretty clear there. My only concern is that the road is, I mean, it's a glorified, it's a gravel road, it's all it is. The construction vehicles come and go. But he's explained that it will maintain it to its original, if not better source. So that's fine. I mean, that's my only concern with the whole project.
Okay, so you're satisfied with Mr. Hardy's explanation then as to how they'll look after that?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much for your contribution.
All right, thank you.
Is there any other members of the public who are wishing to speak?
No one further, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Perrin. Everybody's been given a fair opportunity to be heard. Is the committee ready to make a decision? All those in favor of granting the application?
Have to do it.
Oh, sorry. Secretary Treasurer, if you could please take the vote.
Certainly.
I'll remember that one of these days.
Councillor Cook,
Yes.
Councillor Kravitz.
Yes.
Councillor Sayer,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Marks,
Yes.
Councillor Wynne,
Yes.
Councillor Rowe,
Yes.
and Mayor Martin.
Yes.
Granted,
Okay,
Madam Chair.
that application has been granted. Those wanting to be notified of the committee's decision on any application should email Diane Wilson at wilson@centralelgin.org, indicating which public meeting they wish to be notified on and provide their name and address. Those who do not have access to a computer and wish to be notified should call Diane Wilson at 519-631-4860, extension 286, and provide the same information. This meeting is now adjourned.